means that this won't be going through the criminal system, but it doesn't mean that nothing happened. So as you said, this was a date in 2015. A charge was put against Vagramov for it in March. He had been on leave for much of the time since then. But alternative measures is a system that the BC government sets up for a certain number of incidents as a way for it to go through something other than the court system. So here's a list of ways that it can be used. In certain situations where the charge against you is considered a minor one, if it's your first offense, if you admit that you're responsible for something and you apologize to the complainant about what you did. As for what happens next and the steps that are taken, sometimes it can be compensation for the loss or damage, sometimes it can be an apology, sometimes it can be community service. It's pretty broad on the provincial government's website of how this works. The question people are wondering is, what did the mayor of Port Moody admit to? What was his apology like, and what did he did? And for right now, we don't know. His lawyers said they won't be revealing that. The BC Prosecution Service won't be either unless under a court order. So at this point, the system has played out the way it does, but there's still lots of questions for people in Port Moody.
Okay, so how are people reacting to it?
Well, Mayor Rob Vagramov himself, we put forward a request for comment today. He has not gotten back to us. Thus far, we spoke to Councillor Diana Dilworth. She's been the councillor perhaps most critical of the mayor during this process. She says that she's happy that there is a resolution and that the city can begin governing with a full council slate, most likely once again, but says that the mayor still has more to explain to the community.
I'd be much more satisfied if Mr. Vagramov would be transparent with the community. Because of this charge against him, our community's been tarnished. Our community has been torn apart. And I do appreciate that he's made amends with his victim. I think it behooves him now to make amends to the community.
But we'll see what he says. He hasn't even said yet when he will return to be mayor of Port Moody, though he has promised in the past he will do so once this is cleared up. But certainly lots of questions we don't know, and it's up to the mayor to choose whether or not to answer them.
Municipal Affairs reporter Justin McElroy. Thanks, Justin.